among those who actually think we are ripe for a pullback. Why?
Yeah, I think there's several issues with this current rally. First of all, if we look at the volumes, they're still rather thin for a rally of this magnitude, which points to something of a lack of conviction. If we look at the earnings outlook, the street is still quite aggressive in its earnings forecast. I think that a lot of investors understand that the consensus numbers are not realistic, but what I think a lot of people don't realize is how expensive stocks look if you plug in more realistic earnings numbers. The market seems to have moved too far too fast, and I think that that means that we are ripe for some consolidation.
Okay, so which markets look most vulnerable to you then? Where would you be pulling back?
I'm a lot worried about India. This is a market which, going into this rally and going into this crisis, already was having a lot of macroeconomic problems. It had problems in its financial sector, which were limiting growth. It had more downward momentum going into 2020, really, than any other market in Asia. And now it's being hit harder by the virus than most any other market in the region. It came into this rally with rich valuations. It has underperformed, which has reduced the premium somewhat, but it's still an expensive market, and you're taking on a lot of risk at a very high price.
That's interesting, Dan, that you say that, because you're also saying in your comments, in your notes, that earnings forecasts are way too high. So if the EPS expected is high, wouldn't that depress valuations, even if on a relative basis, given this rally being liquidity driven, thanks to the Fed, valuations might look relatively stretched?
Precisely. Even on the existing numbers, which I would say are unrealistic, especially in the case of India, the market looks expensive. If we plug in more realistic numbers, which I think would have to be adjusted more for India than most other markets, then we would come up with even more expensive valuations for India.